All right, let's jump right in. We're going to take a tour of the Web3 gaming world, specifically looking at the token landscape as it is right now in November 2025. We'll check out the big players, the titans, and some of the new challengers making waves. And maybe most importantly, we'll see where people are actually spending their time playing. So, here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with a quick intro to what these tokens are all about. Then we'll dive into the titans of the market, the rising stars, and the hubs of player activity. And finally, we'll pull it all together with the key takeaway. Okay, so what are we even talking about with these Web3 gaming tokens? Well, think of them as the engine running these new gaming worlds. They're not just like the coins you collect in a normal video game. Nope. These are digital assets that let you buy stuff, sure, but they also let you earn real rewards, the whole play-to-earn thing. And sometimes they even give you a say in how the game evolves. Pretty cool, right? First up, let's talk about the titans. These are the absolute giants of the Web3 gaming market. The big names, the heavy hitters, the ones that basically built this whole space and are still calling the shots. And right at the top of that list, you've got Gala. Seriously, if you've been anywhere in your Web3 gaming, you've heard this name. It's the powerhouse token for the Gala Games platform, which is just massive. And the thing about Gala is its sheer scale. It's not just for one game. It's like the currency for a whole theme park of different games. You've got fan favorites like the farming game Townstar, and then epic adventures like Miranda's. That huge ecosystem is exactly why it's so strong. All right, next on our list is IMX. This one is a little different. It's kind of the backbone for a lot of top-tier games. Think of it as the foundation that huge hits like Gods Unchained and Illuvium are built on. So, what's the big deal? Why is it so crucial? Well, IMX is what we call a Layer 2 solution. Sounds complicated, but here's the simple version. It's like building an express lane on top of a busy highway, like Ethereum. It makes all the transactions way faster and way cheaper. And for gaming, where you've got tons of little actions happening every second, that speed is not just nice, it's absolutely essential. It's the plumbing that makes the whole thing work without lagging. Okay, so we've talked infrastructure. Now let's talk about building whole new worlds. That brings us to Sand and Mana. You've probably heard of them. Sand is the token for the sandbox, which is basically like Minecraft on the blockchain. You build whatever you want. And then there's Mana for Decentraland. It's one of the OG virtual worlds, and it's still a top spot in the metaverse today. Of course, you can't have a list of titans without mentioning AXS. That's the token for Axie Infinity. Now, it might not be the absolute king like it was back in the day, but its community is still massive, especially over in Asia. And right alongside it, you've got to talk about Beam. That's the token for the Merit Circle Gaming Network. And man, it has just exploded in growth over 2024 and 2025. And that brings us to Prime. This one is a perfect example of what happens when a single game just hits it big. Prime is linked to the Echelon Prime ecosystem, and its huge rise in the last couple of years is all thanks to the card game Parallel TCG becoming so popular. It just goes to show a killer game can literally send its token to the moon. Okay, so those are the giants, the established players. But what about the newcomers? Let's switch gears and look at the challengers, the rising stars of 2025 who are really starting to shake things up. There are 4 names you really need to know right now. First up is Pixel. It's the token for that super popular farming game on the Ronin network. Then you've got Naka, which fuels a whole bunch of different games on its platform. Third is Portal. It's a newer project that connects different blockchains and it's getting a ton of buzz. And last but not least, there's Not. This one has a wild story. It started as a simple little game on Telegram and has blown up into a huge gaming ecosystem. So, market cap and token price, that's all well and good. But here's the real question. Where are people actually spending their time? Which games are they logging into every single day? Let's look past the money for a second and focus on the players. And when you look at the numbers for daily active users, it's pretty fascinating. The top game right now is Pixels. No big surprise there. It's huge. But right behind it, you have Alien Worlds, a pretty simple but super addictive mining game, and Hamster Combat, which is a great example of how fast games on the TON network are growing. What's really interesting here is that the most played games aren't always the ones with the biggest, most valuable tokens. Kind of tells you something, doesn't it? All right, so we've seen the titans, we've met the rising stars, and we know where the players are hanging out. So what's the bottom line? What's the big takeaway here for you? Whether you're just looking for a cool game to play or thinking about this from an investment angle. I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? There's so much going on, so much noise. It's hard to figure out what's real and where the actual opportunity is. But if you look at things like market stability and who has a truly established ecosystem, a handful of names start to stand out. And here it is, the key takeaway. Look, those rising stars are super exciting, for sure. But if you're looking for what might be their relatively safest bet, whether for playing or investing, the signs still point back to the titans. We're talking Gala, IMX, Sand, AXS, Beam, and Prime. Why? Because as of right now, in late 2025, these are the projects that have proven they can stick around. They've got the tech, they've got the huge communities, and they've got real established gaming worlds. So that's our tour. We've covered a lot of ground, from these massive, sprawling game worlds to the hardcore tech that makes it all run. The Web3 gaming landscape is more wild and diverse than it has ever been. So I guess the only question left to ask is, which one of these digital worlds are you going to jump into next?
Please like and subscribe for more trading content, and then subscribe for more daily, weekly trading insights.